Hey guys, so Keon here, and I've been testing the animation with my little animation setup here. So what's going on is on the left is I isolated just the keyframes for the animation, and that's in its own hex file. On the right, I've got my emulator and I've got a notepad open. So what I'm doing is basically I've set this up so whenever I edit the memory or edit this file, it'll automatically write those changes to the position it needs to in the save state, and then I just need to load the save state. It's probably not much if you hear it on video, but it's saving me a lot of time because I've written things like the update uh, save states in the past, and a lot of times it's edit save state, run patch, load save state, reload patch, and stuff like that. There's a lot of ugly stuff that goes in the background, but I've managed to kind of automate that out, which is kind of makes me happy. So I can go through, or what I've been doing is go through and replace the bits with zeros and load the save state and observe the animation. Right now, anything that doesn't affect the animation, I'm leaving as 0 just so I don't have to think about it. And there is a little bit of a crip in his left leg, and I think that's from a previous thing that I left commented out. So that 0 really didn't do anything, so let's go ahead and replace another 0 and then load it. And then all of a sudden we can see Rio does a little tap dance when he walks. So I'm coming back in here and making things. Before, I think there was already an IK target that I thought I saw working here. Left thigh rotation. This really looks like left foot IK again, and that's happening at 0x54. And basically, I'm just taking notes of anything that comments out what changes in the model to try and get an idea of, okay, uh, even if I can't get an exact detail of left rotation or left thigh or left knee or whatever, at least I can say, okay, well, the left leg was from here to here, the right leg is from here to here, the right arm is from here to here, or something like that. I can at least narrow those things out, and at least I can, when I trace through, I can say, okay, well, I expect the game to read, from this, and I expect the keyframe to be read from that. So what's going on between, and then try to trace it back from there. It just helps to have a kind of target to check against to say, I generally know where these things are, and then I can go back and do it. Or maybe not. I could just be crazy and insane, and none of this works at all. But I've been kind of surprised with the results because bone rotation, I only wrote one thing in here, but it really like it didn't really seem like there are that many keyframes for some of these. Bone zero position, I have a lot. There's actually 14 keyframes. I logged those before, and I was thinking I really need to repeat that. Bone rotation, bone zero rotation, and then the hips, it just kind of went bam bam. So I think that what that kind of indicates is that the animations might be indexed. It might have, like, say you have 30 frames overall, but then you repeat keyframes within those 30 frames. The game might not just do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, each keyframe in a row up till 30. The game might have indexes for read this at keyframe 1, read this at keyframe 2, read this keyframe at frame 0, read this keyframe at frame 4 or whatever. So it's saying it'll have a list of indexes and it knows where to jump and repeat the frame. So the game only has as many unique keyframes as it needs, and it refers to those unique keyframes in a list of indices. And that could be what's going on, or it could just be that the game knows that bone zero rotation is not something that they're going to need, and it only has 3 or 4 positions for that. It's kind of hard to tell, but it's right now just trying to grab data to see what's going on and just try to get a concept of from where to where I should expect keyframe values, and how the game axis, get an idea of to try and predict how the game accesses them, and then try to come up with a strategy for how to go through and read that and replicate that. So that's it for this video. See you next time.